Hey, it is live. At least it says I'm live. And I'm Dave.
Come on my screen, it was live.
It says we're live. I'm Dave Wilson.
Yeah, on
This
my
is
screen.
the True Patriot Talk, the evening broadcast, 5 p.m. to about 7 p.m. With me, Keith, HML Media at YouTube.
Yep.
And that's the YouTube channel. If you know Keith, you're probably already watching it. If you don't know Keith, you should go watch it anyway, except when you're watching the Boogie with the Bull YouTube channel. Get two TVs, and that way you can watch both at the same time.
Subscribing is free.
Subscribing is free. And the only reason you want to subscribe to a YouTube channel is to help the content creator get some of the ad revenue. I personally think we should get half of the ad revenue because we provide all of the content. But we are commercial free tonight for 2 hours on Boogie with the Bull. There will not be any commercials in the entire length of the broadcast. Your subscription is free. Your membership is free.
We'll just get back and have some fun conversation.
Until Facebook starts charging you $4.99 a month, then it won't be free. And I keep saying to Facebook, I would pay $4.99 a month if it was commercial free.
Right.
But, we're just here. We're going to have a good time. What's new and exciting, Mr. Keith?
Just hanging out. Had some leftover chicken wings earlier.
Leftover chicken wings.
Yeah, and the wife had some leftover country-style ribs.
Yeah. I wonder what Trump would have been having as his pre-indictment booking room dinner tonight.
Probably a Big Mac or a quarter pounder from McDonald's.
I would have made them drive through on the way there. And, I kept hearing everywhere that if they indicted him, if they arrested him, if they came, there would be no perp walk down to the car so he could be waving and yelling and talking and getting everybody to applaud and everything. They're most likely just going to do it by video, probably. At Trump Tower, at his home there.
They said it wasn't going to put him in handcuffs. Handcuffs.
I know people in down by Mar-a-Lago were escorted over to a bridge on the water over there off the main drag. With their flags, because I know Derek Arnold is down there. I saw his truck on the ABC News affiliate down there. Had his truck with his flags hanging on it. Tried to reach out to him. Odessa Roberti, our partner in crime, the favorite Boogie with the Bull parish to watch on Saturday mornings at 11:30. Saturday mornings at 11:30. Catch Odessa. Go to her Odessa Roberti page. And if you know of someone who needs prayer, you can message her and they will be included in the service. And if you are someone who needs prayer, you can be included. And I thank Odessa for all the prayers and well thoughts that she sends out to everybody every day. And what else, Keith? Because if I stop talking,
you got all the knowledge.
No, I got no knowledge. I'm the man who knows a lot about nothing.
Right. A little bit about something, right?
Mostly nothing about everything.
No, just about the Trump thing and everything. I keep seeing these videos in Pennsylvania, Kensington Avenue, I think.
Yeah.
Where everybody's like, it's like a zombie town.
Sorry. It's the dogs in the next room.
It's like zombie town.
It's the dogs in Studio B.
Yeah. It's like the zombie town over there.
Yeah.
Everybody just all lumped over and doing this, doing that, and just falling over themselves. It's like, what the hell's going on in Pennsylvania?
Oh, they probably are. They're all probably in Washington, D.C., waiting to see Trump's car pull into the White House, figuring that Joe Biden is going to probably give him a pardon as soon as as soon as they arrest him. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised.
These are people actually on the sidewalk shooting up in their legs and things.
Yeah.
They're homeless, but they're still shooting up drugs in their legs, Dave.
That's terrible.
How can you be homeless and you can afford to shoot up in your legs?
Well, I got to figure, though, at times when Nancy Pelosi didn't want the cameras to capture the homeless people in San Francisco, I wouldn't have put it past the Democrats that they would come by and load up vans full of all the homeless and take them somewhere and give them all the supplies that they need for a night. They did
clean the sidewalks up. They did clean the homeless camps up in San Francisco.
Yeah, they had to clean the sidewalks up, or a big convention was in San Francisco and they didn't want them to see that, so they carted them off somewhere and took care of them for however long that convention was, and then got a few into the system, and then once that convention left town, they brought them home. Listen,
You're right.
But it's sad. I mean, I don't understand. We're sending all of this money to Ukraine.
Yep.
And what we don't send to Ukraine, we're giving to the people that hop, skip, jump, and walk over an open border.
Right.
And we're not doing anything for American citizens, really, regardless of what party you are. We're just not doing anything for American citizens because we're led to believe that we owe everything to everybody else.
Like the veterans. We don't do that for the veterans anymore either.
We don't do anything for the veterans.
A lot of veterans are homeless.
I don't, that angers me a whole lot. We sent our men and women into harm's way, and a lot of times they came back broken, and we had an obligation to fix that, and if it was the rest of their lives, an obligation to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And we didn't, and we don't, and can sit down Beijing Biden's Secretary of Defense, whose name I don't even know because, to be honest with you, I don't really even care.
Lloyd Austin.
Yeah, why aren't we?
White Rage Millie.
Yeah, why are we telling people that this is what we're going to do if and when you come back, or this is how we're going to deal with your family for your loss if and when you don't come back, and we don't do it. I mean, we have this big thing that says, Department of Veteran Affairs hospitals and clinics all over this country, and vets that have to go in every year, and they tell the doctors, well, if you had done this and you did this and you had done this, because it's all service connected, which you see in your file.
Right.
Maybe life would be different.
But that's why nobody wants to join the military anymore, because they go serve our country. Yep. They lose limbs, they get brain injuries, and when they get home, there's nothing for them.
Yep.
We got wide open southern borders right here. Come on in, folks. Come on in. Right. You get everything you want for free.
And some of these vets come back with PTSD and, like you said, traumatic brain injuries. And your next door neighbor's car backfires, and they're on the ground because they think they're back in action again. And
we need to hold the criminals liable for their actions.
Yeah, especially the ones we brought into this country illegally.
And not let them back out the next day or within 24 hours.
Right.
To do it again.
I know Kamala Harris's big championship is cash bail. Everybody has to get
or free bail.
Free bail. Everybody either has to get free bail or the cash to pay their bail, which is a lot less than what
Right.
A non-illegal immigrant, a non-citizen. I mean, what a citizen would have to pay.
Yeah. Some of these crimes committed right now, Dave, man, we'd be locked up for life.
Yeah.
Never see the light of day.
Right. And to me, it's just, it's not Black Lives Matter. It's not both lives matter. It's all lives matter.
Yeah.
My kids should be able to stand side by side with your kids, and my grandkids should be able to do the same thing, because on the day that my wife and I aren't here anymore, it's our kids. And on the day that they're not here anymore, it's
their kids.
It's our grandkids. It's like our youngest just turned 15 months, so almost a year and a half, about a year and a half. And it'll be interesting to see where he is in 60 years when he's 60, 61 years old, and I'm 122, and I still plan to be here. I got pictures of me of how I'm going to look.
We'll play on that one, Dave. I can't play that one ahead.
I'm starting to realize that Facebook
really. That's what we do is pray for tomorrow right now.
Right. Well, I'm starting to realize just how connected to the federal government Facebook is, because they have that nice little app, Face app. You take a picture of yourself and you can age it to what you're going to look like. So I've seen a picture. I've seen a picture of me when I'm 84 years old. I have a picture of me when I'm 104 years old. And now every 3-letter organization that's associated with Facebook probably has it in my profile too.
And TikTok.
I'm not on TikTok. I went over there.
I've never had TikTok.
I went over there when they first launched, and it just looked to me like everybody was a pole dancer trying to get stars that turned into money, and nothing was anything that I really wanted to watch over there.
Well, but TikTok is China ran though.
Well, it is. Beijing ByteDance. Yeah, Beijing ByteDance owns TikTok.
Yeah, they track every move.
Company over in China, Beijing ByteDance, owns TikTok China, and they own TikTok USA.
Yeah, even if you don't have three seats of where you're at.
Right. They have 3 seats on the board of directors, and the Communist Chinese Party, or the Chinese Communist Party, whatever you want to call them, the CCP, they have one of the 3 seats on the board of directors. And back when Trump was saying they're spying on you, and everybody in the government, even Republicans on his side, no, they're not. Then it's like maybe a month ago, I think Chris Wray, FBI director, who's a holdover from Trump, sent out a report and said that America, you don't even realize how bad it is they are spying.
Even in our ports, though, our ports of entry and things, the cargo containers and stuff, the big cranes, they got cameras on them too that spies on what we get inside our country.
White balloons that fly by during the day, they got cameras on them.
Yep.
So I mean, I guess it's interesting because if I was president, I would probably have called President Xi or Ping or whatever.
Xi Jinping.
Yeah, I would have called President Ping and said, what do you want to see? What are you sending this stuff over? Really, what is it that you really want to see? Then I would have said to him, you know what? Entice me with something you're going to do for America that's good for America. And maybe I'll ask Americans if I should bring you in and take you on a hot air balloon ride of everything you want to see.
Right, but China's buying up all of our farmland.
Yep, and Bill Gates
right around the military bases.
Yep, and Bill Gates is buying the rest of it.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
It's going to get crazy.
And what's crazy to me is I understand and I know that it gets to a point where you just can't operate the family farm anymore. And so you sell it. But I'm sure that you didn't sell it for. I'm sure you didn't sell it for anything near what it was worth, and they're not doing anything with it anyway.
Right.
You
know, could be a spy base. I mean, it's all about our nuclear facilities, so
it's got to be something. I'm wondering if the barns are being converted to nuclear bases.
Could be.
That would be the worst thing. The United States of America lost the Civil War with the United States of America because China opened up all its silos and imploded the whole damn country.
Yeah.
Which I guess if you research far enough, they'd have to reimburse Lloyd's of London, because from what I read, it sounds like we still belong to King Charles.
Yeah. No, we don't belong to him. We belong to China right now and Russia.
Okay.
Okay. It's okay.
Does the king are China and Russia, are they still sovereign nations owned by the British Crown?
They own each other. They own each other countries right now.
Yeah, they own each other's countries, but
China is giving weapons to Russia to fight Ukraine. That's why Xi Jinping and Vladimir Putin met this week for 3 days.
Well,
Xi Jinping and Vladimir Putin.
Okay, but what are they trying? What is Putin trying to? I mean, what is Ping trying to do? Is he trying to talk some sense into Putin? Just get the hell out of there.
No. Nothing like that.
Okay. I mean,
not what I've heard.
From what I understand, the only reason the United States wants Ukraine is because it's a strategic NATO base, not the fact that the Bidens don't want us to lose Ukraine because they own Ukraine or think they own Ukraine.
Right, and Hunter Biden's dealings with Ukraine too.
Yeah.
It's all a mess.
What's wrong with Hunter Biden? I mean, he had the perfect life in America. He was he was a cocaine addict. He had any woman that he wanted. He was selling his artwork. His artwork for $600,000 a pop.
What do we call that?
Chinese Communist Party bought the house.
What do we call that in America? Money laundering.
Yeah. My grandfather used to joke about money laundering because from the time I was like knee high to a grasshopper up until he passed away, he always had crisp bills in his wallet, and I never figured it out.
Right.
And my mother said, "Well, yeah, because he used to get bills from the bank, fresh bills, take them home, crumble them up, and then throw them through the washer, put them in the dryer, and then iron them." And I said, "What do you mean?" She said, "Money laundering," because he always wanted to impress people by having the crispest, newest bills.
Right.
But, in the United States.
Years ago, I used to work for a guy at a campground. And I was doing like maintenance in a campground.
Yep.
And sometimes I'd pay some of my rent with my pay, and then the other pay, he would go to the bank and my money. He'd always get me $1 bills.
Mm-hmm.
Brand new. He asked for out of the safe, "I want some brand new $100, like 200 of them."
Yep.
You know how much of a pain in the ass that was going to buy stuff at the store?
I think a friend of mine buys.
I got one.
I think a friend of mine buys at the beginning of the month at one of his banks. I think he buys $1,000 in $2 bills.
Oh, I like $2 bills.
And he does it on purpose because a small cup of coffee at Dunkin' Donuts, if you just get the coffee, it's $2, and the rest of what isn't part of the coffee price is the tip. So that's mainly what he did it for.
Right.
But and you can't freak out a self-checker. If you go and you hand a human cashier a $2 bill, they're like, "Did you just make this?"
They don't know how to change that.
Yeah.
Like, we're all like,
what makes no sense to me is how can most any cashier in the United States of America tell me, regardless of what bill I hand them, that they don't know how to break it because the damn register asked you how much did the customer give you? $2. How much was the purchase? $1.99. You owe them 1 penny.
but I don't know how to understand how to count change back. See what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, in some cases, I personally, I
believe your change back first. Say if it's $16.99.
Yep.
You got to count the change back first, and then add the bills with it, and that's your change back.
The register tells you if it's $20 and it's $17.42 is the price.
But the register can't give the money back though. They can't count the change.
But the register tells you that you owe the customer $2.50 whatever cents. So you know that anything less than a nickel is a penny, or even have the register rounded up. So it tells you to give them an even 5 cents and whatever, or just make every price an even dollar.
But I think when they come out with self-checkout.
The only thing this is good
with the self-checkout was you stick your money in,
right,
and it comes back to you. You just grab your change and go.
Right. Or you count your change because you put your change in.
All right.
What I've never tried though on a self-checkout is say it says your change is $17.42. If I stick in the 58 cents, will it give me an even $18? I probably blow it. You probably can't. It's only set up to tell you how much it's going to spit back.
Right.
But the only thing that changes worth is to fill this, and then every once in a while go to a coin store and just see how it happened to be full. This time around, it's pretty much quarters, so it should be pretty good. But I never, I'm like most Americans. I don't carry change. Right. I carry a debit card and a Venmo card, and maybe something else. But I mean, I don't carry cash. I'd be looking around. I'd be yelling for my wife every 5 minutes. I'm on Amazon and it wants $17.42. I got the 42 cents. Where do I put it in?
Right. Got you there.
And this whole digital currency thing, Biden bucks, that all scares me because if they have control of all of that, if someone hears me call President Beijing Biden, they could take out whatever they want, or they could take it all out, or, But by the same token, if they heard me say something that they didn't like, they could take it all out. But if I said something nice about them the next day, you never know. They might give me more than I had.
Right.
My last suspension from YouTube was on a broadcast I talked about. I said, you can't say the words election fraud on YouTube. Even if you're not going to talk about it in detail, you can't just say the words election fraud.
Or the China virus or the vaccine or...
Prove the point this day because I subscribe to Google News because I have Chromebooks and Androids, and every morning or before I go on a broadcast, I'll flip through the Google headlines to see what's the news of the day. Maybe it'll be something that I'm going to talk about. Well, Google News had an article that they wrote about election fraud, stated a whole bunch of things that didn't happen or could have happened. So that morning, I went on to a broadcast and I said, we can't talk about election fraud. Even if I say election fraud, odds are they're going to go back eventually, find this broadcast, and zap it.
Well, it's an algorithm is all it is.
Right. But what I wanted to say to
fraud or election.
What I wanted to say to the algorithm is it's okay for that same algorithm that will spank me and suspend me off YouTube for 3 weeks just for saying the word election fraud.
I've been there.
Right. But it will take me off for 3 weeks just because I said the word election fraud. And I said, on top of that, I said, we can't talk about election fraud on YouTube without getting a suspension. But YouTube's parent, Google, can send me every article on Google News that has the words election fraud in it. I read them all. So I go on and do a broadcast and I say, hey, YouTube censors algorithms while you're paying attention, election fraud. Now that I got your attention, I can't say election fraud on YouTube. I can't complain that YouTube's parent, Google, sent me intentionally, I'm sure, an article that went in depth on election fraud so that I would do exactly what I said. I can't talk about it on YouTube, but they send a news story to me that they know I'm going to bring into my broadcast, and boom, they got me.
Right. They put you in a cage. I got you like caged in now.
They got me for a month. Only because it was supposed to be a 2-week suspension. So at the end of the 2 weeks, I'm waiting for them to tell me something that the suspension is done. And so in the third week, I write them an email. Can you let me know when the suspension is done? Their response, another week suspension for asking about a suspension on election fraud. They did that one more time. So the 2 weeks turned into a month. Then I found out the next suspension was for 3 weeks. So at the end of the 3 weeks, I didn't ask. I didn't say anything. I just assumed I was suspended. I go to plug into the YouTube channel one day, setting up StreamYard, and it's like, you lost your connection. So, okay, I figure I got to go in there and set it all up. I go in there and set it all up, and it worked fine. And it worked fine for three of the 4 weeks that I was out. So they get you the way they're going to get you. Good afternoon, Susan Kraft. A pleasure to have you here. Danny Campbell, who has watched more Boogie with the Bull broadcasts than anybody else in the history of Boogie with the Bull, including me. And I've hosted all of them. But Matthew Lamb is watching, and of course, Odessa Roberti, our link to God, is watching. And Susan, you look like you're new, so I hope you enjoy. I hope you enjoy the broadcast, and feel free to comment anytime you wish. Anybody else watching, feel free to comment. We are live on the Dave Bolden profile with a live chat. You can share it from there as well, the Boogie with the Bull page. You can watch it and comment, but you cannot share it from there. The Boogie with the Bull True Patriot Talk public group, you can watch it, you can comment it, and you can share it from there. The Boogie with the Bull channel, and over on my Twitter profile, the Boogie WT Bull on Twitter, you can watch it as well. And Keith is with us from the Keith HML Media YouTube channel, where he will be very happy if 1,000 of you go over there and subscribe right now. And tonight when you go to sleep, put his YouTube channel on loop and let it play all night long, so he gets 4,000 hours.
There you go. Hey, we'll take it. We'll take it. Thank you, Mr. Glevin.
Yeah, and none of us are I don't say none of us, but the respectable ones of us that are doing that and know that YouTube will pay some of the ad revenue, even Facebook will pay some of the ad revenue. The respectable ones that I know aren't doing it because they're trying to make a living doing this. They're doing it because there's expenses involved in it. Okay.
We just want to get the truth out. We
want to get the truth out, but there are some expenses. I mean, technology is not cheap. Good technology.
Microphone wasn't cheap.
No,
laptop wasn't cheap.
I got my 2 Chromebooks the old-fashioned way. I did some work for a social media network, and when they were done, I got to keep the Chromebook in lieu of getting paid, which was fine. And then my aunt bought, and she didn't like it. She wanted to go back to a desktop, and I offered to buy it from her because it was brand new. I offered to buy it from her, and she wouldn't do that. She said, "No, you can have it."
Right. This is just an old age pavilion. It's like a 17-inch screen. I couldn't use my I can't use my microphone when I'm on here. I could do it on my YouTube channel.
Yeah.
But I can't use my what you call it? Hang on. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Webcam.
Oh, okay.
I couldn't use that either, so I'm going to have to figure out how to do that.
You probably have to go in and might have to go in and set.
Yeah, but I can use it on my YouTube channel, but I just can't use these two pieces of equipment on this.
Yeah, I use my Chromebook with the camera and the mic. The camera, the mic that's in it. Then I have a snowball over here on a boom arm. That I use. My son gave me the snowball. It came with the desk stand 2 Christmases ago. Gave me the boom arm this year, and it's like now I feel like a professional. You know.
Are those cat treats behind you, Dave?
Are those what?
Cat treats behind you.
Yeah. Would you like some?
Sure. I thought they was.
That's the bag that keeps the dog food. Keeps the dog food and the cat food. And
our cat died. It's called Temptation, I think. Our cat died a couple of years ago. Yeah, that cat was like 18 years old. He loved that stuff.
The Chihuahua will eat 1 or 2. The cat, who's 14 years old, a gray tiger, she will. If she's in a good mood, she'll eat maybe 6 at a time. Normally, nowadays she eats 1 or 2.
Right.
She during the day when it's nice out, I'll pull the shade up and open the window, and she'll lay on the windowsill. Lately, she's wanted to get up on the desk. The cat, so I have to clear off some space. I don't care. She's okay. The Chihuahua, when she was younger, she'd lay up on the desk and watch the broadcast or sit on my lap.
Right. Yeah.
Now she doesn't want to do that. But
right.
It is what it is. I mean, being the no budget broadcasting company, guests, co-hosts and talent, it's
right. Do you have Roku?
We have Roku TV sets. Yeah.
Okay. Real America's Voice.
I don't have it on,
but it's free. It's free though.
Yeah.
What you do is go to your Roku, Real America's Voice.
Yep.
And they got Grant Stinchfield, who used to be on Newsmax.
Okay.
He's on there at 7:00. Then from 8, 9, and 10 is Life of Studio 6B. That's a good show right there. You watch that; they tell the truth too.
Yeah. Are any of these guys on YouTube or someplace that we can take it and share it in groups on social media, or are they just on their Roku channels?
Just on it's like a studio.
Yeah, I know. No, I meant yeah.
It's kind of like Newsmax, but it's a little bit better than Newsmax.
They're back on DirecTV.
Tomorrow.
Yeah. They'll be back. They wanted. I guess the big hassle between them and DirecTV was they wanted $1 per viewer, as opposed to what they were getting 13 million, something like 13 million,
almost 14 million.
Yeah.
With them subscribers back there, they messed up. They messed up. They lost all their subscribers, all their DirecTV subscribers. They ain't gonna go back to them. Their cell phones. They're not going back to their cell phones, AT&T.
Well, I don't understand.
They dug their own grave.
Well, what I don't understand with Newsmax is why aren't they on their own satellites and or riding somebody's satellite and operating their own network on that satellite? Because every year at when it's time for direct,
they never got paid. They never got paid for the last 10 years.
Okay,
they never got no money for being on there, and that's what it was. All these liberal channels getting paid to be on there. CNN, MSNBS, all this crap. C-SPAN, always got paid. Newsmax never got paid. And that's what it was. They wanted to start getting a little bit of the pie.
Yeah.
because everybody watches Newsmax.
Right.
You know, everybody watches real One America News. What happened to them?
News. Yep.
They're not back.
Yeah.
And you put OAN back on there too.
Yep.
But Real America's Voice, so you have to look up on your Roku.
In the last house, we had AT&T broadband, and they never invited Boogie with Bull to be on their network. You know?
Right. Yeah, I'm still learning about this stuff too, so I'm not a professional by any means.
I just tell people, really, I used to roll out of bed about 6:30 in the morning, first cup of coffee, read stuff on the news, then flip through some Facebook pages and get a feel, and then just turn it on and go. And it's, hopefully it's what people want to hear. Don't really worry about the number of views per episode. Hopefully people watch. I have more people that watch the podcast because whatever time I'm on is the wrong time for.
Right. And I have more people on my YouTube channel watch the replay.
Yep.
Because I can always see the views I get after that, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 views on one video.
Are you on every day, or are you on a schedule?
I'm on a schedule.
Okay.
I try to do like Fridays. Well, Friday night, people like to go out on Friday nights and stuff, and then I tried on Saturday. Well, people got stuff going on the weekends, trying to get things done for the week.
Yeah.
And I tried Monday night, but that really didn't work out well either. So we have to go like a Wednesday night or something, Thursday night.
Facebook tells me the best time for large views on Boogie with the Bull is Tuesday night at 8:00. And I've said maybe in the 3-year history, we did 2 live broadcasts on a Tuesday at 8:00. Other than that, it must be people watching the podcasts at 8:00 on Tuesday.
Yeah, that's just, I don't know.
I'd do it all day long if I could get away with it.
Right.
So what else? What else is there? What else is there?
I don't know. I'm getting ready to go down and drain a little bit.
Uh-oh.
I can throw a tune on for you and you sit back and listen.
We don't allow that in the studio. We don't allow the music if you don't own the copyright. Because Facebook, if you don't own the copyright, Facebook will nail me. And if you do own the copyright, like I did, they tried to nail me anyway. But
all you got to do is say before you play it, I do not own the copyrights to this music.
And you know what? That trips the algorithms that you don't own it, and Facebook checks. And if they don't, and they think they can be a burr on your side, they will.
I've been having pretty good luck on YouTube lately by just playing stuff that, like the one that hit #1 on iTunes, the Trump and the
those things, those things they don't care about.
Who owns the copyright to the Pledge of Allegiance?
Well, no, but I mean the girl that did the new Trump song, she actually had it posted all over Facebook, and if you wanted to buy a license to be able to play it anytime you wanted to, from what I understood, it was really ridiculously.
No, it's about the January 6th prisoners.
Yeah,
the political prisoners.
Yeah, but if you wanted this one that the girl just wrote about Trump, or even the J6 one, I think, was you could buy a license to play it, but it was for nothing. It was like for chump change, because I asked a person behind the scenes to check on it to find out, because I wanted to play that one, and I wanted to be able to play the new Trump one. Very rarely will I pay for copyrighted, or will I pay for permission to use copyrighted music, because usually if I know the people, and I know a lot of people in music, if I know the right people, I can usually get permission to play it anyway.
Right.
Where I'll play God Bless Trump in the USA to death. And Facebook did send me a copyright violation on that, I think. And I went back and I wrote back to them and I said, he gave it to Trump.
Right.
Trump said, play it.
Right.
So it's not a violation of copyright. But one of these days...
It's like the national anthem or the Pledge of Allegiance or something like that.
They don't want you to play the
copyright for that.
No, they don't want you to play the national anthem these days because they claim it offends portions of their Facebook members. And I keep going, it should offend. The ones that are offended by it are the ones that are here and shouldn't be here anyway.
Right.
Because from what I understand, the only time you have to say the Pledge of Allegiance and sing the national anthem, I believe, is when you graduate the class to become a citizen. Other than that, if you want to sing it and you want to say it at any time, you should. But, and then I get into the discussion with people all the time. Well, if you play the national anthem on your broadcast, you should stand up while you're playing it. And I say, well, being a disabled American, unfortunately, I can't stand up that long all the time. No.
That's why you play it.
Right. Or I just, what will happen is I'll end up doing the broadcast from here and saying that, this is really how tall I am. But now we have a good time doing the broadcast. We work with a lot of great people. William Rayfield from the Patriots Lab and the Patriots Lab Uncensored is on a lot. He's a great guy. I always tell people to watch him. I will tell people to watch you. I just don't know when they can watch you. So
I'm trying to figure out a good day and a good time. It's hard to catch people nowadays. Everybody's always hustling, bustling, and
what people have told me the best time is when you decide it's the best time. So if you're going to be spontaneous and do it whenever you want to be spontaneous, then that's what you do. If you want some structure, then you do like I do. I tell people we're on 3 days a week at this time, or we're on 3 afternoons a week at this time, or we're on Saturday at this time. And if we're not on live, then you can watch it when it was.
Right.
Watch it when it was live. But
you know what to do? My YouTube, my call-in show. Maybe you can call in sometime.
Call in, oh please.
Hey, you're a good conversationalist, though. You got a lot to say.
I'll just say, a lot to say about nothing.
All right. Look at me.
Yeah. Well, see, it should be. You're listening to.
There you go.
Well, what we were going to do if we follow through with internet radio, either we're sending some programs to an internet radio station or we launch one. We were thinking at the same time we would broadcast it on Facebook and other places, and in lieu of this being on your screen, we'd have a slideshow that was related to the broadcast you were doing, or maybe rent it out as advertising space. I don't know.
Right. Not bad.
But who knows? It's sad when the number one thing on Americans' minds is making money. Everything becomes to make money. But
we can't take it with us.
The only thing I'm taking with me is my cell phone and one Chromebook, and I'm leaving whatever's in my bank account to my cellular phone provider to pay my bill forever.
There you go.
By then, Facebook will probably be $499 a month, and they owe me.
I won't be no Facebook by then.
There will be, but it won't be. I don't think. Will Facebook ever stop the censorship of anybody? I don't think so. Will Elon Musk be successful having cleaned up Twitter.
Yes.
I hope so. Yep. But there's still, social media is still a young baby. So there's still time for somebody else to come along with something else. There are a lot of other social media networks out there. MeWe's been around for a while. They're kind of okay. I don't like to use this word. I think they're a little more anal in the way that they look and the way that they operate. But we have groups over there. American Patriot Social Network is on. They've been around for about 17 years. They're a good Christian, God-fearing, conservative network.
Right.
But that's the problem. We've been so conditioned with Facebook and all of the meta platforms that you don't want to go anywhere else, and it's hard for a lot of people to break that.
Right.
Hey,
give me a minute, Dave, okay? I got to run downstairs just for a sec.
Give me a minute. All right.
Go ahead and do your show.
I'll go ahead and do my show, I promise.
All right, don't hang up on me now.
If I'm not here when you get back, it means I had to go do my business.
Freedom Finger. Hey, you see that shirt?
I'll be here.
See that shirt?
I see that shirt.
The convoy.
People's Convoy. All right, let's see. Let me look at the clock and see where we are. Right, we're coming up on 6 o'clock. Anybody who is watching, let's see, we're on my Dave Logan profile. We're on the Boogie with the Bull page. We're on the Boogie with the Bull Boogie with the Bull True Patriot Talk group. We are on the Boogie with the Bull channel, and if you're on Twitter somewhere and you follow Boogie WT Bull, you can watch me over there. Let's see, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 10 a.m. with Randy Rhodes and anyone else who pops in. And Monday, Wednesday, Friday, somewhere in the 5 o'clock hour, either 5 to 6 or 5:30 to 6:30 or 6 to 7. Some nights, if we can do 6 to 7, then we generally just do 5 try to do the whole thing. But anyway, in the evening, it'll be somewhere between 5 p.m. and 5:30 p.m. that we start and go till 6 or 6:30. Sometimes on Fridays, it can be 2 hours, but who knows? Anyway, in the 5 o'clock hour, you'll always see it posted Monday, Wednesday, and Friday and Saturdays. It's 10 a.m. to 12 noon, the whole 2 hours. And share it around Facebook if you know of a group that it should be in. If you're the admin of a conservative patriot group on Facebook, tell me you want to come on and talk about your group or your groups. We are always interested in doing that. If you have events going on anywhere in the United States, and even if you have to use a cellular phone camera, we will be happy to link you to Boogie with the Bull True Patriot Talk and broadcast your event. If it's an all-day event, maybe we'll come back a few times during the day. Speaking of those events, March 26th, which I believe is a Saturday, March 26th. Actually, I can pull. Yeah, I believe it's a Saturday or a Sunday. It's either Saturday or Sunday. I don't have my calendar on me. It's buried on the desk here somewhere. But whatever date it is, Soup Mama Official on March 26th will be in East Palestine, Ohio, with a convoy of donations for East Palestine, Ohio. We're trying to get into contact with Soup Mama and see how they're going to go. If they're going to convoy from here to East Palestine together or from different points and meet in East Palestine, then we may do a broadcast with the whole convoy going in. And then once everybody is there in East Palestine with Soup Mama, we will do a broadcast of that as well. There is some bad news. It's not really bad news. It's bad news, but it's good news. The April 15th benefit concert at the Cove in Cincinnati for East Palestine, Ohio. That benefit has been temporarily canceled. Nobody come jumping out of the woodwork and make any claims about whatever you think about the people who were involved in putting it together. It's not true. What's happened is the mayor of Cincinnati, from what I have been told, and some other people in Cincinnati want to make it a big blowout benefit for East Palestine, Ohio. So they are meeting with
Palestine.
Beck and his people. Okay, Palestine. I'm Jewish. I'm Jewish, so Steinstein, it doesn't make any difference. Steen is a Jewish person, and a Stein is what we drink out of.
They're a comedian somewhere, right?
Right. But Randy Griesenbeck let me know this afternoon that, and he posted it on Facebook briefly, that the concert for East Palestine is being rescheduled again because the mayor of Cincinnati would like to make it a blowout benefit for East Palestine, Ohio, and they're going to help draw other people there and performers and this, that, and the other thing. So if anybody goes on any Boogie with the Bull broadcast or any broadcast I see trash talking Randy Griesenbeck about the fact that it is being rescheduled, if you come on Boogie with the Bull, you'll get the wrath of it from me. He's put a lot of effort into this, and a lot of people helping him to do it, and it is not a cancellation because it can't happen. It's a cancellation because people in Cincinnati, Ohio, want to help make it a bigger event than it was, trying to find a bigger place to hold it at, and that's all the information I have. He was on the phone with a bunch of people dealing with that this afternoon. There was a conference call that was going to leave him time to jump onto the broadcast and talk about it himself. So he didn't appear to make it on. So I apologize for that, but I'm sure he'll probably pop on later today on the Patriot Cowboy broadcast and bring you up to date about that. And if he doesn't, I'm sure we'll try to get him in on Friday and on Saturday to do it as well. So we will keep making sure everybody knows. If you have bought a ticket for the April 15th event through Eventbrite for the event at the Cove on April 15th, hold on to them, and Randy will tell you what you need to do. You may be able to bring that ticket and give it there and have it honored, or you'll be told how to get a refund on the Cove ticket and get the proper ticket that you will need. And on that note, Randy Rhodes, my partner in crime, All Roads Lead to Home Genealogy, is here, and Keith is here. Randy, this is Keith. Keith, this is Randy.
Nice to meet you, Randy.
Nice to meet you. Yeah, I was looking for that link, and I kept looking for it.
It was there.
So I scrolled back up, and it was there at 5 o'clock, but I didn't get a notification.
No, you got it. You got it around 4:30.
Yeah.
You got it around 4:30. Got it around 4:30, which I had told you it was going to go out, but it came out a little after 4:30 because I was running late and forgot to set up the studio in advance and jammed through at 4:30 setting it up, and I think they went out about 4:35, 4:36, and
yeah,
that's not happening. It doesn't matter. You're here. And
yeah, I'm here.
There's still a little less than an hour, and Keith and I were trying to decide if he should be the new co-host because you weren't here.
Me and Dave was just chit-chatting, man. We're all good.
Yeah, the worst thing is I was sitting here watching your show thinking it was recorded. I didn't see the live in the corner. So I'm sitting here enjoying the conversation. You guys are talking and carrying on. Where the hell is my link, Dave? And then I scroll back up, and there it was. Hey, he's
so from now on, I guess I just need to do when I'm on from now on. I guess I need to do.
So Joe Biden.
No.
You guys are write some notes down.
So what state are you from, Keith?
I guess I should be from now on. When I'm on, I should be doing my broadcast like this.
Randy, this was live.
Well, actually, but if you're live, you should put down, Randy, this is live, not was. What's the past tense?
Oh, okay.
If I spelled that, I would have thought that I missed a show and I'm watching recorded. Well, anyways, the interesting thing about this whole Trump thing going on is like they got caught. They got caught again, and they're doing some backtracking and trying to figure out how they can resolve this because they definitely want pictures of Trump in handcuffs or going to the courthouse or being subpoenaed or something. They want those pictures, And I don't think Trump's going to. Well, I will say this, though. I will say this. The Democrats, they don't listen to any rules. They don't follow any laws. If somehow they pull this out of their ass and they handcuff him, I'm going to tell you what. If I don't see an outpouring of rage from Trump supporters, he might as well just kiss his name and goodbye. Nobody's going to be supporting him because they can arrest him for absolutely nothing. Come out after us first.
You know why he won't be handcuffed? I'll give you one reason. Anybody know the reason? Dave, you know it? Randy, you know it? You know the reason he won't be handcuffed? No. He got Secret Service.
Well, other than the fact they claim he's going to win by a landslide.
Right. But he got Secret Service. He'll never be handcuffed.
From what I'm hearing, he won't be handcuffed and escorted on a perp walk to whatever vehicle they're going to whisk him away from. They will most likely do it upstairs in his Trump Tower residence. And if anything, put an ankle bracelet on him, which I can't imagine that they would do anyway. But,
are they taming lions in the background?
No, that's the dogs in Studio B.
Well, it sounds like they're tearing the face off.
They seem to go live at the same time I do.
Maybe you need to go Studio B, Dave.
I can't complain about Studio. Can't complain about Studio B. They pay the rent, so.
Studio B.
That's why I like cats. Cats are quiet, We have 8 cats, and hopefully my landlord's not watching this broadcast. But we have 8 cats, and they're quiet, right? And the only time they want something is usually at nighttime. I'm trying to sleep. I have this, I've talked about my 18-year-old. She's close to 19 now. She needs to have a clean litter box. So if she goes poo-poo, for whatever reason, she doesn't bury it. Well, first off, that smell wakes me up out of a deep sleep, okay? Yeah. So I'm going to eventually roll out of bed and clean it. But if I don't respond fast, it comes up, Dad, I went to the bathroom. Dad. And if I don't respond to her, it's like, Dad, I really busted. Okay, I'll clean it.
We have a 14-year-old cat who's never learned how to bury it or just doesn't bury it.
Well, they claim cats that don't bury their poo are trying to be the alpha cat.
Well, she's been an indoor cat all of her life. So
right, but it's a inborn trait that God gave them. The cats are supposed to bury their stuff so a predator can't find them. Okay. But the alpha cats who are part of a colony like ours, who have 8 cats, we would be what you call a colony of cats. And, the cat, there's always going to be one cat that wants to be the alpha cat. And at this point, it's not my 19-year-old cat wants to be the alpha. And she keeps the others in line. I mean, she might be 19. I'll tell you what, she is a terror. At nighttime, we have to close our bedroom door to keep her isolated from the cats. Because we have this other cat, his name is Orion. He's pure black. Okay. If you walk into a dark room, you can't see him unless he opens his eyes, and all I see are these damn yellow eyes looking at you. Well, she hates him. Okay. So you can say she's freaking racist. She's a white cat. He's a black cat. And whenever she sees him, she just rips him a new one.
Ebony and Ivory. Look at me the wrong way, and I'll rip you a new one. That was verse 2 of the McCartney song.
But so Trump's going to have his rally in Texas Saturday. Wouldn't it be a hell of a thing? The Democrats think they can arrest him there, trying to pull him off his stage in handcuffs. Guys. I'm 64 years old, God, and my parents are both gone. Most of my uncles and aunts are gone, and I'm like the next line of the family that's just waiting to die. And I never would have thought, my dad spent 22 years in the Air Force. I was 4 years in the Air Force. I never would have thought that our nation would be as close to socialism as it is today. And to allow the Chinese and the Russians to just fly their planes, close to the Alaskan coastline, to have their damn spy ships and their subs off of our coastline, and freaking Chinese spy balloons very slowly going across our nation, taking video of everything.
And Biden let it happen. Biden let it happen.
The Chinese got hit by small hairs.
We owe China.
Yeah.
We owe them. Biden knows. Biden knows.
I mean, if China actually truly paid back the billions of dollars in excise tax and so forth that Trump said he made them pay back, maybe this is their way of getting back their billions of dollars they paid us back in the day. But people don't realize, you can't keep printing money. Okay. It doesn't work that way. Oh, we got 20 rolls of this paper in the warehouse. This is printing off a whole bunch of money. It's not the way it works.
But who's going to suffer, though, at the end? Who's going to suffer?
It's
the grandkids, generations.
Yeah. Well, you know what, Keith, looking at what the Democrats are doing to our children, and I just watched, back-to-back stories on Newsmax about the damn school teachers and elementary age.
Drag queen
our children. Look, the drag queen shows. I'm seeing the damn parents there. Most of these moms, they're there with the damn kids, and they're having more fun than the kids are. And it's like, you see these videos, and it's literally up in the kids' faces. You are a girl. You're not a boy. You're a girl. You're a girl. You're a girl. They're children. They're like computer drives who are being recorded on, and eventually they're going to say, "I'm a girl." I just heard, this is no lie, on Newsmax, there's this elementary age kid that didn't release words from, or the kid's name obviously, who for whatever reason thinks he's a cat. Okay, and the school was forced to put a freaking litter box in the damn classroom so this kid can use it.
Right, a litter box so a human can use it in the classroom?
Yes, because this little boy thinks he's a freaking cat. And they say he's walking around the classroom on all fours, and he's meowing and bullshit like that. He thinks he's a freaking cat. So the school was forced to put a litter box in the classroom so his kid can go to the bathroom. People keep saying, God's in control. God control. Eventually, God's gonna get his wrath on the people. And I keep saying, when the hell? When's it going to happen? You keep saying this, and I do genealogy and history, and every generation has said the same thing. God's in control. But what's it going to take for God to say, enough's enough? I'm done with you humans. I made a mistake. I'm wiping your asses off the face of earth. I'm going to start over. What's
He's
it going to
come back
take?
soon. Got to come back. Got to come back to finish it.
Unfortunately, I probably won't be here when he comes back. But and trust me, I do believe in God. I do believe in heaven and hell, because both of my parents, in their end of life, my father was looking to the corner of the room, talking to his mom for 10 years and talking to other relatives, having this conversation, right? And my mom, when she was in her end of life, my nephew was living in the house, watching over her. He calls me up one day and he said, "Randy, you got to get here now." I said, "Why?" And this kid was frantic. He's in his 30s, and he's just frantic. He said, "There's something going on here. I'm hearing your dad's voice calling to your mom. I hear your dad's voice saying, 'May, it's time to come. May, come home. May, I'm here waiting for you.'" And he said, "There's shit flying around the room." And he said, "I called my sister. She's on her way here." So I show up, and of course, everything's nothing's happening. But the fear and these two people's eyes, I know they weren't lying, and I know they're not on drugs. But I do believe, and there's been a lot of other evidence of even the Bible talks about ghosts and spirits in heaven and hell. But I'm thinking to myself, what's it going to take for God to say, "I made a mistake. I'm going to wipe you guys out. I'm going to start over from scratch. Or you know what? I'm just going to scrap the whole idea of humans and go about my, my life of floating through space." But at the same time, you get all these damn alien ships showing up. Keith, have you been following those stories about the UFOs and stuff?
I heard something about a mothership or something.
Yeah,
and off of it.
Yeah, Newsmax was talking about the Pentagon released information about a mothership that's been releasing these smaller ships to come fly in our skies here on Earth. I mean, not to mention the fact that our military, jet fighters are chasing these things and can't keep up with them, and can't keep a electronic lock on them. They're going to shoot them down. And we, so I do believe too, that there is life on another planet or planets. There has to be. Why would God create billions upon trillions of planets and whatever I'll call them, but only one has life on it? I do believe that there are other planets that have some intelligent being on it.
More sophistication than we got. They got more sophistication than we got. They're more ahead of our time.
Yeah. Yes.
We're like in the Stone Age compared to other planets.
You're breaking up again. You're breaking up. What?
I said we're in like the Stone Age right now. We're behind,
compared to them, yes. Yes. where we are, and you know what? The sad thing is, we really be that far behind of what we're seeing in the skies if we didn't keep time with wars and shit like that. If we spend as much time and effort into the science, I mean, look at Elon Musk, okay? I mean, he has his own damn rocket ships, right? He's talking about building a city on Mars. He has all this electronic floating stuff, the AI and all that. And and he spent his money where it should be, into the future generations. But at the same time, I keep saying, we live in a freaking sci-fi story movie, because did you see about those robots that turned on the people who made them and killed them?
Right.
You saw that?
I seen that. Yeah.
That's like, and what's scary was is the one damn robot was able to access the satellite because the scientists tore apart a couple of the robots to try and save their lives. So they're tearing these damn robots apart, and the one that survived managed to make contact with the satellite to get control of the computers, so he can learn how to put them back together. That's damn scary.
Right. Yeah. Dave, you're muted. Dave's muted.
I can't
There
do
you go.
that. I can't do
I caught you muted yourself.
I can't do that. Damn cyborg keeps slipping in here when I take my eyes away.
I thought I'd let you know. He was like doing this.
Take my eyes away from the
I couldn't hear you.
from the camera. Anyway, I do want to mention Armando Aguilar is watching, Madeline Maria is watching, Susan Kraft is watching, Danny Campbell, who has watched more Boogie with the Bulls than I think there are Boogie with the Bulls, but Danny has watched them all. Matthew Lamb is watching. We're live everywhere. We're normally live. My profile, the Boogie with the Bull page, the Boogie with the Bull True Patriot group, Boogie YouTube channel, and somewhere on Twitter. Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think so. I got a picture of, wait a minute, that's Biden. I got a picture of Biden's true head.
Where?
Like that. What? Like that thing that you were reading. Yeah. Oh, okay. Oh, Keith. Keith is on. We might actually be on the Keith HML Media YouTube channel right now. If we are, it'll probably be the last broadcast he ever does on YouTube, because I said election time probably 450 times in this broadcast and smiled every single time I did it.
I'm all good, brother. I'm all good.
But
I want to go back to Randy for a minute. Talk about Elon Musk.
Go back to Randy. Randy's talking about Elon Musk. Yeah, you got to be nice to Elon Musk, because I get to do the first internet broadcast.
We landed on the moon in 1969, right? 1969. We
Elon Musk landed on the moon in 1969.
We did. We planted a flag.
I thought you said Elon Musk landed on the moon in 1969.
No, we landed on the moon. Neil Armstrong.
Yeah.
1969. We landed on the moon. We walked on the moon.
Yep.
We planted a flag up there. What happened to that? Where'd it go?
I saw a Buzz Aldrin, a reel that Buzz Aldrin put up. So it wasn't the whole YouTube video, but he was talking about, look at what's supposed to be my uniform. It has Aldrin spelt wrong on it, and the first initial is wrong on it too. And I have to go back and watch it, because it sounds like he was saying he wasn't there. So I have to go watch the whole video.
Neil Armstrong was.
What? No, Neil Armstrong was, but Buzz Aldrin was on,
That's what I'm saying,
it was on a reel. It was on a reel that was on Facebook, so you only see like 60 seconds of the video. You don't see the whole video. But
Why can't you make his spaceship?
It sounded like,
so he can send rockets up, straight up, fly around, and land right back down. Right?
Yep.
He can send them up and land right back down, straight up, and then take back off again. Why can't we do that? Why can't we do that? We just send we waste trillions of dollars on a spaceship, unmanned spaceship, to go around the moon. For what? 28 days?
We know that we already know that Elon Musk is sending what looks like sending a rocket up into space to the International Space Station, because didn't he pick up the Russian who had to get out of there? He had been up there
Yes.
As long as he could be. So he sent, while China and Russia are fighting over who's going to go up and get him, he sent a rocket to go up and get him. He sends supplies under a contract with our government, I guess, up to the International Space Station all the time. And I understand that both him and Jeff Bezos, who owns Blue Origins, which is Amazon's space company, they're fighting to see, who gets to Mars first to set up the first Amazon warehouse. So, but then again, you got Capricorn 1, which tried to make it sound like our space was being shot on a soundstage on a Universal backlot.
Well, in my opinion, they're hiding something from us on the moon. They're going to check out the moon. After we already walked on the moon once. Now what's on the moon? Is Russia on the moon? China on the moon? We don't know. All right.
Dave, is Keith's audio clear to you?
It bounces in and out, but he was having mic problems at the beginning of the broadcast.
Yeah, my mic will work on this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if it was on my end or your end.
Just keep cutting out.
Kind of scrambled.
Let me try putting it back in.
So Elon Musk. Say it again.
Can you hear me now?
You know what may be bad? Your mic cord might be bad. But try, because it was clear for a second and then it cracked. It started cracking up again. You can't hear me? All right. If you can't hear me, then there's something wrong with that mic.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. I heard you when you. Yeah, there's something wrong with that, or there's something wrong with our connection with your mic coming over the StreamYard connection. I'm not sure. Wait a minute. No, your mic is muted.
So
your mic is muted.
It is now.
What?
He's checking something on him with his audio. So he was talking with Elon Musk and so forth. So Elon Musk is planning on sending a Starship in April to orbit the moon.
Right.
And NASA has chosen him and his company to send the first 4 Americans back to the moon. But what pisses me off is that in the article about NASA, they have to be specific. The crew will be built up of 2 men, a woman, and a person of color. Now, why the hell do they have to say that? 4 astronauts. Who cares what color their skin is, or if they're male or female?
They need to know. Well, BLM needs to know whether or not astronauts probably needs to know whether or not they can go. I don't know it.
But but then we're back to the were the standards lowered because a woman or black man can't meet the requirements, or was a woman or black man chosen above that of a white man, or something like that? Hang on a second, I got a cat once said.
Or a transgender. Or a transgender. Can you hear me?
Oh,
I can hear you now.
female.
Don't move. I can hear you now. And if you move, I won't be able to hear you again.
Or a transgender, right?
Yeah, she's a female. You're talking about the cats. Or
you need 2 men, a transgendered woman, and
oh God,
and an African American.
Could you imagine? Could you imagine?
A transgendered woman is going to come back pregnant.
Impregnated by an alien.
Right.
Our world's going, guys. Our country our country is going
All
to
roads have gone to hell in a handbasket.
yeah.
Yeah.
We always say hand cart, but it's. I just saw a friggin' video on Twitter of a woman. They're in a house, okay, so their family. Here's this toddler, might be 2-3 years old, sitting on a chair, and here's probably an aunt or whoever, shaking her damn booty up in his face, and I guess the what they're trying to say is this kid is doing this to the woman underneath, behind her back, right? And the women that are laughing their heads off, they think it's the greatest thing in the world. And then you wonder why the black population is so violent and so cruel to everybody else. And that's the other thing. The Democrats want to say they are they are for equal rights, for to stop the racism. And what do they do? They materialize the black population to hate the white population of our nation. I mean, you see the fights in the school where it's never one black person attacking a white person. It's always like 6 or more beating the shit out of a white student or a white teacher. Or you see them walking down the streets. These black people, they walk up to an old person, their back's turned to them, they beat the shit out of them, and all the other crime that you're seeing. And they're getting away with it because the Democrats have told the judicial system, you do not punish them for their actions because they are the descendants of slaves and they deserve what they get. And we're going to give them $5 million in reparations, right? But Keith, that makes sense, Keith. It's only for the blacks living in San Francisco.
No,
the rest of the state?
We're going to give them $5 million, but they have to trade that in for a space ticket to go up to Mars.
I didn't hear what you said, Keith. Say it again, Keith.
Coming from SVB, the $5 million apiece.
Yeah, $5 million apiece.
Yeah,
right?
$5 million apiece.
From SVB Bank.
But it costs $2.5 million each for a ticket. SpaceX is going to send you up to Mars.
No, I was talking about the bank shop down in California, SVB.
I mean, I would be willing to hear these.
We're going to come on with this money out.
I'd be willing to hear these reparation cases.
Coming from the white people work.
And if I said to them, we'll give you $5 million, but you gotta leave the country and go back to wherever your relative was when they were. No,
We don't pay them to leave.
we're not going to pay them to leave. We're not going to pay them to leave. We're not going to pay them to leave. Because the problem is, and we're not going to pay them. We're not going to pay them either because their relative who was a slave passed away well over 100 years ago, which means that they weren't their relative that gave birth to them is nearing 100 years old. So it's like in their lifetime, they were not a slave. They weren't brought here to be a slave. They may have had a lower than everybody else status of being a citizen, but no, I'm not throwing millions of dollars at you or everyone in your family because 27 generations ago, when Randy does your chart, is when that person came to America.
Right.
Because if that person came to America and became a slave, and then Lincoln freed them, and they went on and they existed here, and they had the same rights and privileges as everybody else, and the same abilities to go to school and get a job just like everybody else, we don't owe you squat.
Right.
But it goes beyond that. First off, the black folks weren't the only ones who were slaves. The Irish were also slaves.
Right.
There are the other nationality, like the Chinese, who built the rails across our nation. They lived in near poverty and getting paid next to nothing to build our rail system. And
but it's the same as it would be a class action lawsuit with every Jew I know in the United States filing a class action lawsuit against Germany for reparations on the 6 million Jews that were killed in the Holocaust. I mean, come on. You want a reparation because you don't get out of bed every day and go to school and get a job.
But also, look at it this way.
Buy a home, have kids, pay taxes, and raise your kids that, again, leave home, go to school, get a job, and keep going.
But look at you have a stand here. But look at it this way. Slavery can take different directions, like sex slavery, slavery to drugs. And who is still pushing that? The freaking Democrats. The Democrats are allowing this shit to come across our borders.
Slavery to drugs is something that either you were born into this world from your birth mother with, or something that you decided you wanted to do for yourself, and you got addicted to something. Because if you ask me, and you really get me going, everything in America that is classified as an illegal drug should no longer be classified as an illegal drug. Just like alcohol is, you get addicted to alcohol and terrible things can happen with alcohol. Drink responsibly. It's the same thing. You want to do drugs responsibly. Make sure you're nowhere near that you're not at home with your kids that you're responsible for. It's like I've said, you see all the dispensaries, fancy word for pot store, are open. You can go in, you can buy pot, you can smoke pot, and then when you're done and you're ready to go, you go home. Well, it should be the same thing. You should be able to walk into a store, walk into an office where there are doctors and nurses to maintain you while you're there. And if you want to go in and shoot up heroin, then you buy a shot of heroin. And when you're done with it, and you're sober and in control of yourself, and the doctor signs off on you being ready to leave, then you leave. Because the first thing that's going to happen when the government says, okay, all of this stuff is no longer illegal, the government, which is probably one of the largest distributors of it all anyway, is going to find out, it's like in Colorado when they legalized marijuana. A lot more people went out and started smoking marijuana than ever because they could buy it now and it was okay. And as soon as the glamour of it all had worn off, it got down to business as usual. And they're still probably making tax money off of it. But then they were talking, well, maybe we should go up a little higher and do it the same way. The bottom line to me is that if they deregulated it all and just let people do it, and if you did it in a safe place where you weren't going to get behind the wheel of a car and kill people, or there were no children under your care there that are not going to be taken care of while you're doing whatever, then go and do it.
Yeah.
Go and do it. But again, it all comes back to this reparations. People want money from the government for everything they chose to do. I didn't choose to be born the way I am. I'm bipolar, and that got to a point where I couldn't work anymore. So I'm on SSDI. Now I'm on SSDI until I can hit Social Security in 4 years. And, but I paid into it. Is the government going to have that money? No. Am I still going to get it? At least to 65 and after? Who knows? But,
You're saying you're younger than I am.
I'm 61.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you're my age.
Nope, I'm 61. Michael Anthony, I don't know. One day he says he's older than you, and the next day he says he's younger than you. So I don't know. And I trust Michael, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't have access to his genealogy because even if you did it, you can't talk about it because of genealogist client confidentiality, I'm sure.
Yeah. I mean, the only time I talk about, what I find on to the people on Facebook is when I have the authorization from my clients to say, yeah, go ahead, talk about it. We don't care. Yeah, share it. Yeah, we don't, So when you see my posts on Facebook, it's because they give me privilege for it.
But if you find something, like if you find the link between Jerry Michaels and I, and it was one relative married another relative, and so we're related to whatever eventually became Jerry Michaels, great. But I mean, everybody wants you to find that famous person that they were related to, and then it's great. But
the sad thing too is that when I do find out different informations about people's ancestors, sometimes I find stuff that people want to know about, like slavery. Hey, yeah, your great grandfather, he had this big ass farm and he had 134 slaves. Or like this one guy, I forget who the client was, but her ancestor owned this huge plantation. He had like 300 some slaves. Mm-hmm. And eventually, he passed away and went to his kids, and they passed away. The kids said, we don't want this, this large property. So a college came in and bought up the property along with all the buildings, and he turned them into classrooms. Well, for some dumbass reason, one of the students started digging into the history of the plantation this college was on to find out that the original owner was a slave owner, right? So now that, she's pushing the state to tear down these buildings because the original owner 150 years ago had slaves.
I don't get it. We open up colleges, buildings of higher education. And a lot of people who have money dump a whole lot of money into it and do it for a whole lot of years until something bad happens in their lives. And all of a sudden, that college that Bill Cosby has probably given $100 million to over the years, all of a sudden wants his name off of their building and doesn't want anything to do with him, and took back the honorary PhD that they gave him. And, it would bother me if the Glovin name or the Stone name or Osgood, Birnbaum, all these names that were Schlossberg that were in the family, if one of their names was on a building and all of a sudden they contact me and say, she was a terrible person, he was a terrible person, and did something bad. Because I'd look at them and I'd go, you know what? You took their money way back then, and you've been taking their money for hundreds of years until all of a sudden something bad came out about them. So you know what? I want all our money back. And you watch when you say to these colleges, these universities, we probably donated $500 million in the time that relative's name was on the building. I want the whole $500 million back, plus interest for the time that you've had it.
Good luck getting it. But, you know, and it's not like the majority of the students on these campuses are up in arms to like remove the name, tear down a statue, or tear down the whole damn building. It's only ever a handful of people who, you know, are one. That's all it takes for the Democrats and the liberals to say, oh my God, oh, this person down the street just saw the name of General Lee Avenue and she went into this, and we have to change the name. Yeah, one person, I'm sorry. Screw you. Get over it. Get a life. Or drive down a different street or something.
Right, drive down a different street. Drive down a different street. Don't look at it. You know, I mean, it's just diversions upon diversions upon diversions. You know, I'd have more respect for them if they said, we want this thing taken down or we want this done this way all of a sudden, because why? And they actually had a valid reason. And it's, you know, it's like Jerry said one night, every street or every city, every state in the United States has a Martin Luther King Boulevard or a JFK Boulevard or a Richard Nixon Highway. You know, if you don't like the person that it was named after, find another way. You know, you don't like Reagan, don't fly out of Ronald Reagan Airport in Washington, D.C. Don't fly out of Reagan Airport in California. You know, I was lucky. I met Ronald Reagan when he was governor, and I met him again when he was president. And unfortunately, it was funny both times I met him, but he remembered. But you know, the bottom line is, hey, you know, you don't like Keith HM Media on YouTube, don't watch Boogie with the Bull when he's on. You don't like Dave Logan. You don't like
Dave. Can I give a shout out real quick, Dave? Can I give a shout out real quick?
Yeah.
On your channel? I was asked permission to give a shout out. My son.
You don't have to ask permission. You just tell me to shut up and start talking.
Yeah, he's got a YouTube channel now. It's Chad, CHAD, November NOV 28 Media. It's we got a 4-month-old grandbaby downstairs. So they do most of their stuff with her. So
okay.
If I can say that again, Chad, CHAD, NOV 28 Media. He's got like 17 subscribers, but he's trying to build a channel.
Okay.
So
right.
I appreciate
Your
that.
mic broke up there. Your mic broke up there a little, but message me after the broadcast and give it to me in a message after the broadcast, and I'll make sure it gets out.
All right. I can get this working right now.
You might crack a few times.
Hey, I got to bounce here. I got to get ready to change.
Bounce because you're going to go. Yes. Are you going over to the American Rebellion?
Yep, I'm going to grab something to eat real fast and then make a switch.
Yep. All right, Randy's going over to the American Rebellion.
Hey, you two, where you from, Randy?
Pennsylvania.
He's from his mother.
Pennsylvania? Okay.
No, I'm from my dad. Come on, get it right, okay?
No, you're from
your mother. I'm not him, I'm today.
You're from your mother with a secret ingredient from your father, but that's okay.
You live in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, he does live in Pennsylvania.
I'm from Pennsylvania.
Okay. All right.
With Mrs. Rhodes and their daughter Rhodes.
Come on now.
Born and raised in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. I lived in the Amish land, Amish Mennonites, Dunkards, Quakers. So where I live, they call it the Bible Beltway, but it's starting to change into it's not anymore because of the riffraff that's moving in. But yeah, you know, thankfully so far, you know, the Mennonites and the Quakers and the Amish, they have a big say in some of our politics, and that's what's keeping our area, you know, semi normal. But doing my genealogy for myself, I learned I'm related to Daniel Boone, And it's kind of surprising because Daniel Boone, growing up as a child and watching the TV series, and I still watch it, to be honest with you. I always associate him with Kentucky, right? To find out that he was born here in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. He moved out to Kentucky. Yep. And that blew my mind.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah. So anyways, I got a Boogie here. Just do my quick tag, just so you know, all roads lead to home. 15 minutes, 5 generations for free. I can find out a whole bunch of stuff in the 5 generations. If you're interested, my fees are dead cheap. It works down like $7 an hour. Most genealogists charge $45 an hour. What?
$7 an hour.
Cheaper than paying taxes.
You work $7 an hour.
Okay.
Well, see, I'm also okay. So I'm also disabled. So I got this disability.
Anyone who charges that price is disabled.
And I'm only allowed to earn a certain dollar amount each year before the Social Security takes notice. But if I wanted to, I would do it for free because I just love history. I love learning about people's ancestors and so forth. But
right.
What happened was the reason why I actually started charging was this one lady reached out to me. She said, "Randy, I see you do genealogy on Facebook, and I was wondering if you can tell me why one side of my family doesn't talk to the other side of the family." So she gave me her information. I looked into it. Something like that. So I looked into it. I looked into newspaper archives. So her grandfather was this war hero, World War II war hero. He and another soldier held off, dozens of Germans. So he was coming home as a war hero. But he walks into the house to find out that his wife had a 9-month-old son. Well, he knew damn well that kid was not his. So he killed him. Okay, he went to prison and so forth. So I reached out to her. I said, I found the information you're looking for, but it's pretty dramatic. Do you really want to know why your family probably doesn't talk to each other? She said, "Randy, I got to know." So I shared it with her, and I said, whatever you do with the information I give to you, that's on you. I don't want, to rip up your family. But during the process of finding out about her grandfather, I learned 2 other things, this is what I'm saying, folks. When you want your genealogy done, it brings up a lot of stuff, okay? So I found out that one side of her family came from Italy. So I started doing that for her to find out that this damn family is part of the damn Italian mafia.
Ooh,
so
okay.
Right.
I said, you gotta stop there.
I said,
my grandfather, God rest his soul, was in the mafia. He was the godfather of La Cosa Nostra, and we'll leave it at that.
Yes, I reached out to her. I said, damn, you should have told me you got relations to the mafia. Oh yeah, I probably should have told you that. Well, thanks. But also, while I was doing that, I found out that her uncle drove a public transportation bus, and whenever someone would step onto his bus, he created this big smile and hello, blah blah blah, right?
Temptation bus.
So the people on his bus, so the people who rode his bus want to know who this guy was. So they reached out to the local newspaper. They did the backstory, found out who he was, and this big article about him. And it turns out it was her uncle. So I shared it to her, and she shared it to a cousin who broke down in tears because he never knew this about his father. And the guy sent me $50, right?
Cool.
I thought, damn, I got some money here.
Randy told me once. Randy did tell me once, talking about money, that if you refer someone to him and they become a paying customer, you can in fact get a commission. And when the first person found out that I was going to get a commission, they canceled. So, no, but yeah. So go to the office.
They did.
Randy, if you don't go when they go live in 8 minutes, when you get there, I might be in your chair. So. All right.
That's fine. Great meeting you, Keith. See you, Dave. Great time. Bye-bye.
All right. Good time. Good show. Yep. All right, Randy. All right, Randy Rhodes. Always a pleasure to have Randy around. Randy will be with me Friday morning at 10 a.m., something in the Friday evening hour at 5 o'clock, and maybe Saturday at 10 a.m. And Keith will be with us whenever he spontaneously decides he wants to be with us. Because when you're a professional YouTube broadcaster, you're so popular that you just go on when you want to go on.
I just pop in, People get notifications. They come in.
He just gets up and he looks at his calendar and sees, oh, okay, I'm on that show today. I'm on that show today. Wait, that's Glove's show now. Tell him I'm not available.
Actually, this was a show I'm going to do besides my YouTube channels.
It was a lot of get your mic fixed, and you're welcome back anytime you want.
All right, I appreciate it, man.
All right, Keith. Let's see. Say good night, Keith.
Oh, good night, Keith.
Right. Okay. Keith ML Media on YouTube. It was great having you here, Keith, today. Let's see. We're going to do that. Put the parachute on, say goodbye. I like to do that, but sometimes it's fun. Anyway, it was a great Boogie with the Bull broadcast. Thank you to everybody who watched on the live chats. Danny Campbell again. Randy Rhodes was actually watching before he came on, and after he came on, Ed Homan. Thank you for watching. Melba Castagna. Thank you for watching. And let's see. Today is Wednesday, so tomorrow is Thursday. We don't have a Boogie with the Bull broadcast with me planned, although Randy Griesenbeck will be live sometime tomorrow, either on the Patriot Cowboy show or here on Boogie with the Bull True Patriot Talk to let us know what is happening with the Palestine, Ohio benefit. It has been temporarily canceled from April 15th, and the only reason is that the mayor of Cincinnati, Ohio, and others in the state want to make a big, huge benefit for East Palestine, and they are going to work with Randy and people that they have on their team and make one big, huge blowout. So I don't know if you have already bought a $25 ticket from eventbrite.com, what the status of your ticket is. We will get Randy to answer that question as soon as he can. It may very well be that if you ordered tickets from Eventbrite and you have the ticket, you may be able to use that ticket at the rescheduled event, or you might have to send your ticket back and get a refund. So no sweat. Do not be concerned with what will happen. If you've already bought a ticket, everything will be done to make sure you either get your money back or you get a new ticket for the event when it is scheduled again. It's going to happen. Soup Mama Official is on the way with different convoys planning to meet in East Palestine, Ohio on March 26th. Going around the country in a convoy to pick up things that will end up in East Palestine. If you have items that you have not yet arranged with someone to pick up, go to the Soup Mama official Facebook page and message Soup Mama, and she'll do her best to figure out either how to get your stuff into East Palestine or someone to pick up your stuff and make sure it gets into East Palestine. And everybody will be happy that you helped out. That's the best I can say on that. Also, while you're on the Soup Mama official Facebook page, there is a post that talks about some auctions to help raise money for the costs of getting all the donations to East Palestine. And if you can help take part in those auctions, I'm sure we appreciate it. Or if you want to make donations, that will be greatly appreciated too. Keith just sent me a message that Keith HML YouTube channel is now open. He's going to go live on the YouTube channel, so go over there and give it a try. And it's coming up on 7 o'clock, so go to the American Rebellion blogger page here on Facebook, the American Rebellion blogger page, and catch the American Rebellion with Jerry Michaels, Nikki Young, Randy Rhodes is going to be there, Jen Woodruff may be there, Robert Lawless, the Minnesota Madman, is probably going to be there. Lots of people. And one of these days I will try to get back over. But by the time I get done the 5 o'clock hour Boogie with the Bull broadcast, get it all processed and shut down, do some sharing of the podcast, I don't get over there. But I really like it when I do. And Jerry Michaels knows that he's always welcome on a Boogie with the Bull broadcast. If he sees us on the 10 a.m.s, he's more than welcome to come and join us anytime that he wants. But the American Rebellion broadcast goes live on the American Rebellion blogger page here on Facebook. And it's also on Rumble. But if you go to the American Rebellion blogger page on Facebook, the link to the Rumble channel is there as well. So go over there and watch the broadcast. Tune in, turn on, catch Michael Anthony whenever he's on. Go to the Red, White, and Blue 10 o'clock Talks Michael Anthony page. Become his friend. You'll get notifications when he's on. If you scroll his page, you'll see notifications for his upcoming broadcast. And make sure you tune in and watch. Smart guy with a lot of information that he loves to share with people. Then you take that information, connect the dots, make your own conclusions, your own decisions, and that's just the way we do it. Also, William Rayfield, he's another one that is on a lot. Go to the William Rayfield Facebook page. The profile picture, I believe, is him and his lovely wife, so that you know that you're on the right one. I think there's only one William Rayfield on Facebook, to the best of my knowledge, but become his friend, and you'll see notifications when he goes live. Join the Patriots Lab and the Patriots Lab Uncensored groups, and they're private groups. And when he goes live, you'll get notified to one of those two groups that he's live. Watch them, share the broadcasts as best as you can. Watch Boogie with the Bull. You can watch it right now on the Dave Logan profile with live chat, the Boogie with the Bull page with a live chat, and the Boogie with the Bull True Patriot Talk group with a live chat. What's eventually going to happen in the near future is it won't be on my profile anymore. It may not be on the Boogie with the Bull page anymore, because the Boogie with the Bull page may go away. And your best place to watch it will be in the Boogie with the Bull True Patriot Talk public group with a live chat, and you can share it from there. If you want it in your group, let me know, and I will put it in there. If you don't want it in your group, let me know, and I will never put it in there again. Other than that, it's time to wrap up and go answer some things on Facebook. Share the broadcast with anyone you think will like to watch it, and put it in any group that you want. If you're an admin of a conservative patriot group on Facebook and you want to come on and talk about your group sometime on a broadcast, please let me know, and we will give you ample time to do that. If more than one of you want to come on, we'll make a broadcast devoted to sharing some of the groups on Facebook that people might want to be in. My groups are American Rebellion, the Boogie with the Bull, the Boogie with the Bull True Patriot Talk public group, Conservative Freedom Defenders, the Hardcore Conservatives group, and Red Patriots for America. The Boogie with the Bull group, the 1,045 member group, and the 445 member group, private groups, appeared to disappear in doing some cleanup on groups and getting rid of links to groups that don't exist anymore. There's still a few more scouring of groups where open links may be. If they don't come back, meaning that I can't find them and get them back, then they are gone forever, and the Boogie with the Bull True Patriot Talk public group will be what replaced them. As soon as, if I could, everything except American Rebellion, everything but American regulators and conservative freedom defenders and the hardcore conservatives group and Red Patriots for America, the 4 groups now, they will be the only groups that I would have on Facebook. Other than I am talking to people with Trump 2024, and if they want my help, I'm more than willing to do whatever I can. Don't know a lot of people that live, breathe, eat, and sleep Facebook 18 hours a day and even worry about it during the 6 hours a day that they're sleeping. And if I can help, I will. So go over to Keith HML Media over on YouTube and watch. Go over to the American Rebellion blogger page here on Facebook and watch the American Rebellion. And like I said, tomorrow morning there will be a broadcast at some time. Either Randy Griesenbeck will host it on the Patriot Cowboy Show, or he'll join me on Boogie with the Bull True Patriot Talk, and we will bring you up to date on what is happening with the benefit concert for East Palestine. I think you'll be happy with what you hear, and that will be what it will be. Randy was going to try to be here tonight to discuss it. Unfortunately, he is still on the phone with the whole thing, trying to get it switched, resolved, and all set, because it really is, on his end, what he was bringing was really going to be an excellent show, an excellent concert at a real good price, donation going to East Palestine, and was really going to be a great evening. So bear with him. It will get moved to a bigger venue from what I understand, and there will be even more entertainment for you that night. So do keep a focus on that. Keep a focus on what is going around you every day. Start thinking about what's going on. Start getting ready for changes that may be coming, and be ready when those changes come, or get ready to maybe change things back to how they were and how they should be, and be ready when that happens too. Again, I honestly don't think you will see Donald Trump handcuffed and do a perp walk out of Trump Tower or wherever he's going to be at the time, and create a media spectacle that could go bad one way or just happen, the way they want it to happen. I don't think you'll see it happen. I think, if anything, he'll be arraigned by video from probably upstairs in Trump Tower, and that's where he'll be. But honestly, I don't think he's going to be arrested, because the more and more you hear about it is the statute of limitations is up and done on the Stormy Daniels case. That was already resolved. So if there's new evidence, the Manhattan DA has to go before a grand jury with new evidence. That evidence has to get to Trump's lawyers so they know what they're dealing with. And you know what? Maybe it'll just sidestep and get right to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court will just tell them, enough is enough is enough is enough. Done. Maybe Joe Biden will have a sane moment and by executive order, just pardon him. But who knows? And make sure that you're not allowing the Democrats to use the possible indictment and arrest of Donald Trump as a diversion to what they're doing and trying to do, and more and more and more and more and more. There comes a time when you have to stand up for yourself and your country and just try to change the things that that are wrong. I'm Dave Blum, and you're not. Thank you for the privilege of letting me abuse your time. We did 2 hours and 7 minutes, so still not bad. 2 hours is okay, and not much over is still okay. So, like I said, tomorrow morning at some point, you will see either Randy Griesenbeck on the Patriot Cowboy Show, and he will discuss what is happening with the East Palestine benefit, or he'll be on a Boogie with the Bull True Patriot Talk broadcast, and he will tell you what is planned, and we will both, between the two of us at least, keep you as informed as to what is going on in East Palestine with the benefit on Facebook, as David Lewin and Randy Griesenbeck are able to make sure you know what is going on. And on that note, have a great evening. The next Boogie with the Bull broadcast is 10 a.m. Friday morning. Our scheduled broadcast is 10 a.m. Friday morning, along with something in the 5 o'clock hour Friday night and 10 a.m. Saturday morning. Those are all Eastern time, so adjust your time accordingly. If you are interested in being on the either of the Friday broadcasts or the Saturday 10 a.m. broadcast, message me who you are, what you are, and what you want to do while you're on the broadcast. And I generally always say yes, as long as I know that there is a camera open. So that's all you have to do. Anyway, double B's for victory. This Boogie with the Bull broadcast has come to an end. Boogie with the Bull is a presentation of the No Budget Broadcasting Company. We own the name, we own the song, we own everything to do with Boogie with the Bull. Here on Facebook, here on YouTube, over on American Patriot Social Network, AmericanPatriotSocial.com. We're over on Streetlock, STREETLOC.com. We're over on Gab. We're a few places on MeWe and a whole bunch of other places. But my point is that we own it all, and there's no copyright laws being violated in the course of doing a broadcast. If you ever come across something you heard on a Boogie with the Bull broadcast, either come out of my mouth or the mouth of someone else on camera, or you read in a live chat and you don't agree with it, and you want a chance to confront the person that you don't agree with, then you're more than welcome to come on to a broadcast with that guest or whoever, as long as they are available, and we will have a calm, rational conversation, and hopefully the two of you will agree or agree to not agree, because that's what we do. So with that, I'm going to say once again, double B's for victory. This Boogie with the Bull broadcast has come to an end. And yes, if you do catch the tongue tie here and there, it's part of what I'm going through right now. Sometimes I realize I can't speed talk like I used to without my tongue getting tied. But you know what? That's who I am. And I do what I do because I enjoy doing it. So from Fleming Island, Florida, I'm going to come up and hit this one final double B for victory. This Boogie with the Bull broadcast has come to an end on Facebook. Go over to the Keith HML Media YouTube channel. Keith is live there. And if you're over there watching it, while you're there, subscribe to the channel and also share it. Take the link and share it to the Boogie with the Bull True Patriot Talk public group. Post it there. Share it in all of your Facebook groups that you're in as well. And we'll see you on the next Boogie with the Bull. Double B's for